Okay, yay, this show still exists. We're almost done, yay.
2 episodes to go. Hiya, folks. Welcome back to your Time Slots and Our Taskmaster podcast. I'm Emerson.
I am Joe.
And this is the Taskmaster USA semi-final. Woo! Woo!
Yay.
2 more episodes of this show, and someone has sort of come out of their shell a bit in these last 2 episodes, I think.
Okay. Yeah, these 2 episodes definitely seemed better than the other ones did.
And when we say better, we mean less shit.
Like, well, obviously you can't fix the editing or anything like that, but it definitely seemed like we're getting a bit more of the contestants, but also there's a lot to be said for not front-loading your show with the good bits, but also this episode still sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but like I said, someone came out of their shell a bit and we saw a slightly new side to them that I think has been building up for the majority of the series.
Yeah.
Anyway, episode 7 is titled Hostage. That should give you a clue as to what one of the tasks is.
Honestly,
anyway,
it didn't. I forgot which one it was.
Well, obviously because we record these in pairs, the next episode, which we'll be talking about, is, spoiler alert, called 101 Ducks. See if you can guess what one of the tasks in that episode is. Mm-hmm. Anyway, our contestant descriptions for this week. Dylan is ginger for some... Oh. I'm just reading this and I've just worked out what they are. What the nicknames are.
Oh, the Spice Girls.
Yes. So Dylan is ginger. Freddie is posh, which, fair enough.
I didn't
Kate
even
is sporty.
look at these. I got that already.
Kate is sporty, Lisa is scary, which also makes sense, and Ron is baby, which I think Freddie would have been more appropriate as... I mean, posh or baby could have worked for baby. Posh because obviously he's British and all British people are posh. But Freddie's also the youngest member of the panel. Anyway, only now did it just click with me that that's what it was. Although, I'm not sure why Dylan, ignoring the fact that he's... I was going to say that Dylan's not ginger, what on earth are you talking about? But now that I know that they're Spice Girls, I feel like, was ginger sort of like the afterthought for Dylan?
I don't know. You know, this is weird.
Like
I don't know
with
if you know the
Freddie's,
makeup.
Lisa's, and Ron's, Lisa's especially, the nicknames make sense.
I don't know what the makeup of the Spice Girls was enough to actually make that determination.
Posh Spice is Victoria Beckham. She's the famous one. The only other, I hate to use this word, relevant one would be Scary, which is Mel B.
Yeah.
Sporty was Mel C. Jerry was Ginger, and Emma was Baby.
I've seen Mel B on other talk shows. I think it's on like the Big Fat Quiz of the Year. And
yeah, she does a lot of stuff in America. She was like a judge on America's Got Talent for a bit or something.
Oh, I don't watch America's Got Talent. What am I, a nutcase? But
well, I mean, it's sort of just like, I don't know. It's just like, you know, when you go through I wouldn't say I'm an avid Spice Girls fan. I like some of their songs. Like, I think the Spice Girls are very like guilty pleasure, a very guilty pleasure group.
I don't have guilt about anything that I listen to.
It's like, so you know the song "Wannabe."
Yes, everybody in the world.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Wannabe.
It was released like, I don't know. It came out like 5 years before I was born. They played the song a lot when I was in secondary school, like for just sort of fun, and it was sort of just like I was like, it's one of those things you feel embarrassed about, but you secretly like it at the same time.
See, I don't have self-consciousness, so there's
Who's
that.
your favorite? Do you have a favorite Spice Girl?
I literally forgot that Mel B was in the Spice Girl, which leaves Victoria Beckham by default as the only Spice Girl I could name.
I think B's probably my favorite. Anyway, our banter. Alex repeats I don't think we talked about it on this podcast.
Coin between his teeth.
Yeah, which he's definitely made that.
I don't remember him saying that, but who knows?
Well, he must have said it in one of the 5 seasons before this.
Yeah.
Of the UK version, because all of the tasks here are from series 5 in the show, from series 5 of the UK version at the latest. And who wants to do the prize task?
I'll talk about it because
I feel like, considering your Instagram presence, this is the perfect one for you.
I thought about this too, and this is just such something that like I have a total blind spot for, but it's a guitar pedal. It's an effects and sound modulator pedal.
Oh, and by the way, Reggie brought it in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, the total perversion of this show's format is that we've run out of literally everybody else to give in prizes. So let's get Reggie put something up. That's how this show works.
I don't. You know, the problem, if this show was, say, like, I mean, they hadn't reached, like, the 10 because, like, from series 6 onward is when we had the 10 episode format.
Yeah.
And every series of the UK version up to that point, and even Taskmaster New Zealand is 10 episodes. But if I don't want more of this show, but if they had 10 episodes, then they at least could have gone round the contestants twice. Yeah. Or even if they'd had 5, which probably would have been even better, because the less of this show, the better, they could have gone round once. And everyone could have brought in a prize.
This is...
Or maybe they should have had 6 episodes, each of the contestants bring in one thing, and in the final one, they do the prize task from the next episode, which we'll get to that, but
yeah,
I can see it being...
This one is bad, because it's
something about $250 as well. I think that's how much it was
okay, worth. So this is... I don't actually know anything about what this specific model, because this is like... This is like more towards performance gear, because Reggie's a musician and a comedian as well. So this is like something that you plug your guitar and your stuff into, and then it does delay and reverb and, you know, sound modulation. And it's got floor pedals, so you can sort of step on it when you need to change an effect. And it's a thing. Again, no prompt, no idea what it's worth, what it's like supposed to be for. But
I mean, the only member of the panel I could see getting some use out of this is Dylan, because he is barely qualifies as a musician. But yeah,
it's a delay modeler pedal. I looked it up. It's worth right now. It's going for $299, but there's one site it's on sale for $199. Reggie's was at the time this aired was valued at $250, and Reggie Watts owning it actually might bump up the value a little bit. Doesn't really matter. That's not how this show is supposed to go. It's, for anyone who cares, it's a Line 6 DL4 modeler, which is a delay modeler, which is, for, again, those who care, Line 6 is a word and then a number all together with no space, because that's the brand name.
Anyway, should we talk about the first of 3 tasks in this episode?
Yes.
So, the first task, it's another familiar one. It is the Release Alex task from Series 3, Episode 2. Now...
And from Season 2, Episode 6 of Stormester, which... also had featured this, because I have gotten to the point where I am looking up to see which episodes they copied this from. Thanks again to Carl at taskmaster.info for making the best fan website I can use for this.
So the biggest difference between this version and I've not seen Stormester, but I have obviously seen the UK version.
Yeah, I haven't seen Stormester either.
The biggest difference between this task, the way this task is done in the US and the way it's done in the UK, is that they're not in teams this time.
Oh shit, I forgot they were in teams.
Yeah, this was a team task in the British version. And I think that was a big reason as to why this task was so fun, because it was like doing an escape room with your friends and everyone just gets so frustrated. Obviously, yeah, people got frustrated here, but it wasn't sort of as funny.
This is like an escape room if you have no
complaining. And then one of the... Obviously, people will like go point to Bastards Crying in it as one of the line of Series 3. But I think Rob, looking in Alex's hand, seeing the key, which, spoiler alert, they also do here, and just hearing him say, "Oh, you fucking asshole," that is a brilliant line as well, because it's just like, that is the type of show this is. Like,
well, they actually had that
not this
moment.
show, the British version.
In fairness, they actually had that moment here. It's really interesting because
yeah, but it wasn't as like, it didn't hit the same way, I think.
Well, no, I meant they had Ron in the studio segment actually called Alex out on it, and whatever he called him actually had to be bleeped out. And then Alex said, "I've never been called that before," so I only assume it's some sort of racial slur.
What, I mean, what did he call him, a cracker or something?
I don't know.
Or did he call him like a gringo?
I do not want to know. I don't want to know, because if we say it, both of us are too white to say it. And also, just generally...
Well, if it's a slang for like a white person, surely
it's either that or it's something else. And I don't want to know, and I don't want to
he's not going to...
I don't want to play Guess the Slur with Emerson.
I mean, if that wasn't such a... I mean, if that could have been an episode title, but I don't want it to be.
I know. See, that's why. But
anyway,
but yeah, spoiler alert, Ron does call Alex out on it.
They do bleep swear words, but they don't bleep drug references, which is weird.
It's how the MPAA works, not the MPAA, whatever the TV rating agency out here is. But spoiler alert, the reason why Ron called Alex the mystery word is that Alex actually lied to him, because at some point he asked, "Do you have the key in your hand?" And Alex said no. But of course that was not shown. That was not shown on screen. We had to find that out afterwards.
These people love to bullshit us. Anyway,
once you go through this, I'd actually like to talk for a moment about the editing of this episode, of this task, and how it sucks even harder than usual.
Okay. If you've seen the original version of this task, it is like the route to get to releasing Alex is basically the exact same. I'm not going to repeat it, but it does require people to look on the phone, which is like a picture of a phone, that sort of one. Instead of a Christmas cracker they have to pull this time, they have to go absolutely hammer and tongs on a piñata. And yeah.
Which Ron did not go completely crazy, but Freddie and Kate did. Because they show this in, first it's Ron, Kate, and Freddie together. Then it's Lisa, then it's Dylan.
I don't have any notes on Freddie, Kate, and Ron.
Okay, so
one note I have is we have another way of, like, I know I'm jumping a bit ahead with the British version here, but this is like a reference that, like, are you aware of the shed moment in Taskmaster? Like,
there's a lot of them.
No, but like in the studio. All right, I'm jumping ahead here to series 9.
Oh no, wait,
with series 9 with like a shed. With Rose Matafeo.
I have seen memes of that. I have not actually watched season 9 yet.
Oh, season 9 is amazing. Also, by the way, they had Champion of Champions 2 aired. By the way, it should never. Champion of Champions works better as 2 episodes, not 1.
I'm holding out for when we watch those, which that's going to be really
series 13 and they announced series 14.
I'm so excited for Dara O'Brien, and I'm going to have to wait like 9 seasons for that.
Oh god, Dara O'Brien versus Greg Davies is going to be a battle for the ages, because they're both very tall men of very similar ages
who take very little bullshit. But anyways, can we just keep plowing forward?
Yeah, so we other than the shed note and the different new way of pronouncing it, I have no notes for Freddie, Kate, and Ron.
So all I had was that Freddie and Kate were violent in opening the piñata. Freddie hilariously so. Ron was not. And the thing in the studio segment about Ron calling Alex something.
We do have some times though. Freddie is currently the fastest at 20 minutes and 4 seconds. Ron is just behind him with 21 minutes and 18 seconds, and Kate is currently in third place with 21 minutes and 45 seconds. Next up, they show Lisa, and Lisa... Now, if you remember, the actual instruction of the task, when this was done in the British version...
release Alex.
It's written in invisible ink. So you have to shine like a UV light on it to see it.
Which I realize
Lisa
we haven't
can-
actually said what the task was. The task is for me to fall into my color commenter role for a second. The task is a blank piece of paper that just says your time starts now, fastest wins, and then release
But when you
Alex
shine the
written on
UV
the
light
top,
on it, it says release Alex. I
and
did
on
say
the back
that. I
it
did
says
say,
look on the phone.
yeah, I did say this was the release Alex task.
Yeah, but some people might not listen to this in the wrong order. I always like to not have to give a steep learning curve.
Do you seriously think people will listen to like, I don't know,
More
this
people
episode?
okay, our YouTube channel, I don't know about Spotify, the Taskmaster USA episodes are doing like 6 or 7 times as many viewers as every other one we do. Like we're getting like 70 to 90 viewers as opposed to like 10. So there are new people here.
And also, not many people are talking about Taskmaster USA in podcast format. So I think, fuck you, Ed Gamble. We're treading new ground here.
So it is theoretical that it is possible that someone might have listened to this, or someone might just not remember. I don't remember half these episodes, and I cover them.
Anyway,
on
we're
the
16
podcast.
minutes in. I think we should keep going.
Jesus fuck, yes.
Lisa doesn't use the UV light or doesn't notice the UV light to see the release Alex bit of the task. So she creates her own task by just ripping it up and just ripping it up and leaving it there. And when she finds out that the task was to release Alex back in the studio, she said she would have refused to release Alex point blank.
Yeah, and
Which
it
is
took her
typical
34
Lisa.
took her 34 seconds to rip the paper in half.
Yeah, but she's not even DQ'd, is she? She just given 1 point.
Honestly, I don't mind that because Reggie at least gave some sort of reasoning, which is that it was a point for creativity, which is something that I've always kind of felt was okay, as if like you do the task with a lack of information, it's not entirely wrong. Like your time starts now, fastest wins, tear the paper in half. Sure. I'd give her like 1 point. That's I wouldn't personally, but it's not something I'm going to get bent out of shape over.
Anyway, our final person up to bat is Dylan Francis. And when Dylan walks into the room, he offers his hand for Alex to shake, but Alex doesn't shake his hand. So Dylan assumes, okay, a bit rude, but he's also a little bit sus about Alex. So when he finds out that the task is to release Alex,
wow,
he goes...
that's a dated meme already.
Well, I mean, the word's still used in general as sort of just like being to be suspicious.
I know, shush. I know. I'm making a joke for the future.
Yes, but I can't understand sarcasm to save my life, mate. I'm sorry.
Whatever. Oh, you're fine.
Anyway, Dylan thinks something is a bit sus about Alex. There you go, 2 for 2. So when he finds out the task is to release Alex, he puts 2 and 2 together,
Well,
and he goes straight for Alex's hands and finds the key in it.
He doesn't find that it's released, because this is actually what I wanted to mention about the editing, which is that when Dylan says, "Is something in your hand? Is it in your hand?" The blacklight flashlight is still in the jar on the table, because the blacklight, they have like a clear jar that has some pens in it and stuff, and the blacklight flashlight is in there, and Dylan does not have it in his hand. It's still in the jar if you look really closely when he goes over to Alex, but when he releases Alex, the jar is magically the blacklight flashlight is out of the jar and is in his hand. Which
is this what you were talking about with the editing?
Yeah, because they clearly either Dylan ran back, got the flashlight, was like, "What the fuck is this?" Okay, or they made him do it again because for camera or something, like maybe a second take, which I find really confusing because why the fuck would they do that? But don't go and watch the episode. But if you feel the need to, go watch the episode, look very carefully at Dylan's hands and the jar. I did this like 3 times. When he gets up and is saying, "Is it in your hand?" The flashlight is in the jar, and when they cut back to the wide shot after he releases Alex, it's not. And I don't know what happened in there because this show is edited like shit. Also edited like shit is Ron, Kate, and Ron, Kate, and Freddie's task, because Ron, Kate, and Freddie figure out that it's a blacklight thing, but at no point does it show them actually figuring out that the blacklight flashlight is within arm's reach. It just cuts from them looking at the task in confusion and then them holding the blacklight flashlight in their hands with no... Like, this is a basic rule of editing, is if someone's getting something plot important, you at least show them reaching for it, even if they don't have it.
Taskmaster isn't... I mean, I was going to say it's not a very difficult... I was going to say it's not a very difficult show to edit, but it's not right. It's a very easy show to keep up with if you're editing it, I think, is what I meant to say.
Yeah. But
like all you have to do is really just like just show the footage in chronological order and then just chop it down. I mean, obviously that's what editing is, but you have to chop out the unnecessary bits of fluff and filler. Like Ron took like 20 minutes to complete the task. You don't see the whole 20-minute thing, obviously.
No, but there were 3 different people who all correctly grabbed the flashlight, and none of them were shown doing it, even for like half a second. And I was, because I'd actually forgotten altogether how this task worked. And so when they're just looking at it with the flash, I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? And so it's bad editing that you forgot to do that.
I don't even want to just waste my time talking about the editing. I just sort of...
It's so bad. Okay. Did we say who wins? Yeah, Dylan wins.
Dylan gets it in 51 seconds. He basically beats everyone else by a country mile. Freddie's second, then it's Ron, Kate, and Lisa comes last.
Yeah, Lisa gets a point.
Joe, it's over to you for the second task.
This is the record the most incredible POV footage task, which the full task length is, with this camera strapped to your head, record the most incredible footage. This one was from season 5, episode 6 of Taskmaster UK.
Infamously, the one where Nish Kumar, it was the one where we had Nish Kumar was in the lead for the first time in the show's history up to that point. And then he fucked him up badly, and then Greg just... obviously it's more infamously done with a later contestant, but this is the first time Greg pulls a contestant aside and says, "Hey, what were you doing, mate? And then you just fucked your chances." If honestly, I wouldn't get pissed at. I mean, I probably wouldn't get pissed at Nish. In retrospect, Alex chose to show that particular clip there, so obviously it wouldn't have made a difference to Nish's score. But if he had been shown in an episode where he was doing shit, Greg probably wouldn't have done that.
Yes, and then
but that's
also this task appeared in season 3, episode 8 of Bäst Test, which is another one of the Scandinavian Taskmasters. Swedish, yes. It's the same thing as every other version of this, which is that the camera zip lines down to the contestants. And
sometimes it banks them on the face. I think it banged Aisling B on the face.
Yeah, Aisling gets bonked on the head in the original one. This one, the zipline stops before them. I'm not entirely sure where the zipline came from, because there's nowhere in the Taskmaster house that's high enough for that to start from. It doesn't matter. This show sucks. So we start with Dylan, who is obviously the one that everyone wants to make fun of, because Dylan has decided... Dylan, in his mind, this worked better, where he has a helmet with a stick attached to the helmet, and then Alex is standing not very far away from him, throwing their little, pool rings. I have a couple that are exactly like these, that are drink floats for the pool, that they're shaped like flamingos. These ones have the hole out of the bottom.
They're basically they're sort of like you imagine them in some large fancy pool in California or Florida or something,
or Ohio, because we have some of those, but in our pool.
Yeah, but you probably more imagine them in a hot part of America.
It's very hot out right now. It's
but when I don't think
I know I'm just messing.
I mean it's on wait, which of the Great Lakes is Ohio on?
Erie,
okay. Yeah, it's a near a body of water, but it's not there's probably beaches, yes, but it's not like a beach.
Come to Ohio, where the water is cloudy and dead fish watch up on the beach. Anyways, it's an inflatable flamingo-shaped water ring of some kind. It's thrown onto the stick from not very far away. It takes a couple of tries. It eventually gets on. Even Dylan admits it's not great. Then we get Kate, who got way more points for this than she deserved because she does one of those "ooh, watch the floating card" things, and the fishing line is visible the whole time. And
even before the camera pans up to Alex holding
Yeah.
the strings on sticks, basically little fishing lines, you can see the string.
They do weird cuts where they show like what it looks like outside of this, which they didn't do in any of in the UK version but it whatever.
I mean, they did. Technically, they did something like that with. Do you remember Mark Watson? He filmed himself watching footage of a guy doing BMX tricks.
Yeah, that one.
And then he turned like you think. Oh, I mean,
yeah.
You're probably thinking, oh, this is like the most out of character thing for Mark to do ever. And then you realize he was just sitting in the chair, and then he says he got an exhilaration from just sitting there watching it. And it is an extremely Mark Watson thing.
I'm sorry,
did you see the tweet Mark Watson made about a dream he had?
I don't use Twitter, so no.
Oh, please bear with me. I want to...
Okay, well, you find that... so, the fishing line is clearly visible. Again, it's stupid. Whatever. Moving on. Ron actually does something that's really cool.
This is the task where I started to change my opinion on Ron Funches. Okay. I didn't change it because... Spelvin attacked me in the comments. Can I talk about this for a second?
Oh, sure.
I don't love Ron. I don't love anyone involved on the show, but he's sort of changed a bit as the show's gone on. I still think he wasn't particularly interesting at the beginning, but now Ron Funches, to me, and we'll see it in the next episode as well, has evolved into this very silent psychopath. I've found, and this task started it.
That is not the direction I thought you were going to take that sentence. Okay. Anyway,
can I read this tweet from Mark Watson to you?
Yes.
So, this was tweeted, we're recording this on the 29th of June. Might be up tomorrow, might be up Friday. This was tweeted by Mark on the 7th of June this month. He said, I dreamed I was back on Taskmaster. The task was to look after 2 baby alligators for a week and return them to the house. They were snapping a fair bit more than I'd have liked. I had the strong suspicion it was only me doing this task.
That's actually really great.
And someone posted it to Reddit, and I wrote in the comments, this is actually the most upvoted comment on the post. It's got, not to toot my own horn, but I'm totally tooting my own horn. It actually just passed like the own bots comment. My comment is like a line of dialogue in a play. It goes, Greg to Alex, and in capitals, write that down.
Okay, cool. That's actually really funny. But what Ron does in this task, getting us back onto a track of a shittier show, he sets up a huge number of candles on a birthday cake because he filmed this on the day of Reggie's birthday. I don't care enough to look up when that was. He blows out the candles with a leaf blower, and seriously, this is like a sheet cake that he has put candles in every square inch of. It's a huge number. This cake is starting to
Reggie
melt.
must be really old. Must have been really old at the time of this.
Who cares? Who cares?
But then he just throws the leaf blower on top of the cake.
He thought that the leaf blower would blow the whole cake away, and when that did not work, he threw the leaf blower in disgust. However, weirdly, the leaf blower did not seem to actually impact the cake. Like, it made a thunking sound as it hit the table and then just bounced. So, whatever. I don't care. Moving on. Lisa continues her role as the heel of this series by force-feeding Alex disgusting food
through like a sausage machine.
She made one herself. I don't care. It's bad. Don't watch this.
I wrote Lisa.
Alex says it's the worst thing to ever happen to him. She remained a jerk in the studio segment by calling him an English prick. Then getting on to English people, Freddie Highmore did adventure bicycling, by which he chopped a bicycle in half and then pushed it in front of him while he held it at weird angles to simulate riding on the wall. Really inventive. Apparently hurt him quite a bit because he was holding the sawed-off end of a bicycle directly at crotch level.
Why the hell did he have to saw it off?
Because otherwise...
Maybe it would have been lighter, yes, but...
No, the back half of the bicycle would have been in the way because he was holding it up like at weird angles.
Okay.
They do this in stuff where you chop up in like car chase movies where you will have just like the front or rear half of a car so that the camera can be at a better angle. But I'm looking at this on Taskmaster.info because I didn't write it down. Freddie gets 5 points, Lisa gets 4, Kate 3, Ron 2, Dylan 1. I don't agree with this. I think that Kate's sucked just as bad as Dylan's did.
I can't wait for when we start Series 6 and we do have the new, we have all the new jingles. We'll have an updated Taskmaster Joe. We'll have a Hawaiian shirt count.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the Hawaiian shirt count for this is like 0.01 because I think Lisa's shoes are like a vague flower pattern, but it doesn't matter.
Anyway, so with one task to go, Freddie's in the lead on 9, Dylan's on 6, and the other 3 are in joint third on 5. So, this is probably going to be the quickest talk of the task.
Oh, it is the live task. Do you want to know how many versions of this there have been done?
Can I guess?
Sure.
I'm going to say 5.
No. There are 10 different versions.
Fucking hell.
Because
that'd probably be every single version of the show except New Zealand.
Okay, so Taskmaster.info has a master task page where they will all these ones that are based off of each other. The original one was the Edinburgh Fringe Festival one.
I mean, I'm okay with them taking tasks from the original Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah, no.
Version.
Then Series 3, Episode 5 of Taskmaster, Season 1, Episode 2 of Bäst Test, Season 2, Episode 4 of Bäst Test, which involved pasta pieces instead of donuts. Then,
they recycled the same task. They do this a lot. They recycle task concepts a lot, but within the span of a few episodes, they did it.
Within the span of 1 year. The first Season 2, Episode 1 was March 17th, 2017. Season 2, Episode 4 was March 30th, 2018. So, and then after that, it was Season 1, Episode 7 of Taskmaster USA. Then Season 3, Episode 5 of Bäst Test, this time involving cookies. Then Stormmaster Episode 5 of Season 2, Season 4, Episode 9 of Bäst Test, then Kongen Befaller Season 2, Episode 5, and finally Season 5, Episode 6, Bäst Test. It aired last April. They did one for every season except the first. And they did one for every season of Bäst Test.
Why? This task is the most confusing task ever.
I don't know.
It's not confusing. I just about get it, but for what should we call this? Should we call this episode something to do with that?
Yes, we should. I don't know. We have to keep it within the character limit for YouTube, but I think it's Season X of Bäst Test.
What if we called it just 10 donuts on a stick?
Oh, 10 tasks on Bäst Test. Is that too long?
I might censor this, but I just wanted to say it anyway, okay?
Yeah?
I say censor, edit. Bäst testicles.
Oh, that one's good. That one, we could never do that, but... I like we'll have to workshop this a little bit. Anyways, let's keep going.
Anyway, here we go. Basti testing our patience.
Yeah, Basti testing, because I think testing our patience might be too long.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see.
No, Basti testing us. There we go.
Basti Taskmaster.
I like Basti testing us.
Okay, Basti testing us. Anyway, yeah, this is put the lowest unique number of donuts on a stick, which Basti Test fucking loves this task.
Yeah, everybody's favorite Basti Test task. Put the lowest unique number of donuts on your stick. This is a very
I'm still laughing at Basti testicles.
Yeah, I know. So
I was gonna extend that joke, but I'll probably do so once we've stopped recording. Because it'll be quite... Anyway, you can't talk about this task. It's so difficult.
I have a couple of notes.
It's only done in... Okay, I'm listening.
So Alex does have to explain the task afterwards, and Lisa, Kate, and Dylan all look very upset that they are too stupid to understand how this is supposed to work. And then... I
mean, there's a joke in there about Americans being stupid, but I'd say...
I mean, for this, it'd be right, but...
which is funny, because out of the two of us, you're the smart one.
Thank you. For this one, Ron and Lisa both eat some donuts. They look... I'm going to get into a bit of donut thing. These look like
that's probably the most American thing about this, to eat the donuts mid-task.
I mean, same. But I think they might have come from Dunkin' Donuts just on the way they look. But who knows? Doesn't matter. Ron and Lisa both try and eat them. Multiple people have to be told they cannot put half donuts on, which I think is very interesting, because I do not think they did that in the British version. Although who knows with Boston
No one. I mean, what you said they did it with like bits of pasta, didn't they?
I don't even want to know what we need to make a supercut of all of the various versions of Basti Test.
Maybe that should be a season of Basti Test, where every single task, live or pre-recorded, and prize task is. Who can find the So who can? Let's see. Right, we've got 2 episodes left. It's episode 8. You all know how this goes. Whoever's brought in the lowest unique number of donuts on a steak gets to take all the donuts home.
And now for our pre-recorded task. Place the lowest unique number of coffee beans on this stick. Now the second task. Place the lowest unique number of rice in this wok. The third task. Place the lowest unique number of eggs in this basket.
And then secret extra task for one person. Clip your fingernails, the lowest number of fingernails in the little pot at the end of the task. All they could like do, like, the collect drops of sweat and collect tears task.
Oh my god, the lowest unique number of sweat drops collected.
No, that's this episode title. Lowest unique number. Okay?
Yes, that's... Oh my god.
Oh god,
we're making
that's so
better
good.
Content than this show. Oh.
Suck it, Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've talked more about... Well, we've not talked about this task specifically. It's over in one round. Kate wins. Everyone... And in the way the scored is like, if you get the lowest number, it's a winner-takes-all situation. So Kate gets 5 points. Everyone else gets nothing.
With 4 donuts, which I was really shocked by. I also was really surprised by this, because this task took so long on the UK version, and presumably is still ongoing on Basti Test. But which is why the newest one hasn't aired yet. But I'm really surprised they managed to do it in one round.
Welcome to the final of Basti Test. You will all go to sleep in this bed. Whoever can sleep for the lowest unique number of hours wins.
Basti Test is eventually just going to metamorphose into lowest unique number of episodes.
Oh god, I didn't think we would get like a. Oh god, this is like a
recurring joke in a Taskmaster USA episode.
I mean, we have I don't know if it's a recurring joke, but like we have this thing where we just take a random thing and it just spirals into something hilarious, like the ball gags.
Yeah, I know. That
was probably that was the first moment we like properly broke down with laughter on this podcast.
We're 40 minutes in.
Hi, Mr. Hooper was a good one.
Oh fuck yeah!
What was the other one? I said something that made you laugh like really hard.
Oh shit! I can't remember. What was it? I know.
Anyway, we'll wrap this episode up at a very long 40 minutes. Kate just beats Freddie to first place, so she gets to take home Reggie's thing.
It's a guitar pedal.
Yeah. So with one episode to go, the scores stand at Kate is in a pretty big lead of 68. Dylan and Ron share joint second on 60. Freddie's on 59. And Lisa's on 52. I think the way this is going to go is going to be pretty predictable.
Yeah.
But you know how you were saying, like, Reggie would always say to us, like, remember, good night. This was like, when I watched him say it, I think it was maybe because he said it twice, or was he was just starting to realize he's on Taskmaster USA, but he was just like, remember, good night? As though he was like, what the hell are you talking about?
He said good night as the end of the sentence before that one, and then just said, and then realized, seemingly as it was coming out of his mouth, that he would be committing a tautology or repeating himself, and so just was like, remember, good night.
Still doesn't make any sense when he doesn't repeat himself.
I hate this show. That's why.
We have one episode left of Taskmaster USA, and then we can destroy all media footage of the show forever in a fire.
Yes. So I'm going to hit stop right now, and we're going to start a new recording.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. We will see you in a few days.
I love you. Goodbye.